All right. So now we know where we're going. Where are we going? Miami, right? Where are we going? Miami. And how we're going to plan on getting there? Say we're going to take the mountain group. Mountain group. Okay, good. What's the next question we have to ask ourselves? What might we need for this trip? Yes or yes? Yes. All right. What's the word, please? Resources. So, what resources do we need, and what resources do we have? Good or good? Good. I told you, it's very simple stuff, but it's stuff that nobody has ever put down in a 1, 2, 3, 4 checklist. Good or good? Good. What resources do I need? What resources do I have to execute this plan? By the way, notice the word. What was the word that was a little bit strange there? No. What resources do I need, and what resources do I have? Now, isn't it true that most times you're going to be leading a group? Yes or yes? Yeah. So why don't we say, what resources do we need? What resources do we have? Why isn't the we the word that we're using for this particular purpose? Because you are the leader. And that means the responsibility stops where? Starts and stops with you. So if you don't have what you need, or you're not using what you have, whose situation is that? It's your responsibility. So the word is I for these purposes, so you remember that everything starts and stops with you. Yes or yes? Yes. Got it? You're the leader. All right, let's go back to our Seattle to Miami trip. We're going to be driving for 5 or 6 days. Give me some examples of some of the things we might need to have with us or want to have with us. Food, good. What else? Clothes, yes. Yeah. A map, yes. Drinks, yes. Water, money, that's good. The car, yes. Gas, oil, yes. Spare tire, good. Windshield washer, what's that? Cell phone, very good. Snacks, good. CDs, music, excellent, good. All right, family, yeah, don't forget the family. And the dogs. Dogs still running after the cat. Come on. All right, now, most leaders are poor leaders. Why? Because first, they never ask the critical question of, what resources do I need to make this plan work effectively and efficiently? And second, they don't recognize and use the incredible array of resources all around them, right? So they don't use other people's time, other people's labor, other people's money, other people's contacts. They don't use other people's brain power effectively. They don't use technology. They don't use equipment. They don't use materials effectively. And they don't use their own time and energy effectively. Those are all your what? Resources. They're all what? As a good leader, you what? You utilize everything you possibly can effectively as possible. Yes or yes? Yes. If you've got a person there, you're going to what? Utilize them. Yes or yes? Yes. They are a resource. Yes or yes? Yes. Of some way, somehow, they are a resource. If you're not putting them into action, that is your responsibility, not theirs. Yes or yes? Yes. You must find their strength and use it to assist the result. Yes or yes? Yes. Are you starting to get the picture here? Yes. Who's responsible? Right. Who's responsible for the result? Right. Period. All right. You say, well, I didn't know they were strong at that. You're the leader. Did you bother to ask? Do you know the strengths and weaknesses of all the people around you? Do you? No. They're your resources. Then you don't even know. You're the leader. You need to ask. You need to find out. That's your job. Yes or yes? Yes. It's so funny. I mean, you can just, in every part of life, I mean, you take a look at has anyone ever seen the movie like Vacation with Chevy Chase, something crazy like that? It's nothing but crazy chaos. The kids are screaming. And that. Why? Because as a leader, he never led. He never put the people in the right place. Okay, mom, you like doing that. You're good at that. You do this. Kids, you're supposed to go crazy, so you do that. Little Johnny over there, you love watching TV, so you watch the video thing and you tell everybody what happened. He never put them into place where they could be of some type of use and order. When people are not used, they rot. And they rot your group. And they rot your team. And they rot the results. Because they weren't used. True or true? True or true? And why weren't they used? Because you didn't utilize them. Understand? So even if you have no use for someone right now, you say, your job is to stand there and monitor to see what's going on here so I can get some feedback from you. Good or good? You utilize all your resources. All right. You have to know what those resources are and what's at your disposal. That's what real leverage is. Yes or yes? Otherwise, you might as well just do it yourself. Yes? And are you one of the resources? Yes or yes? Yeah. Say, I'm one of the resources. But just one. Yes? Okay. So question number 3, the ultimate leader asks themselves is what? What resources do I need? What resources do I have? Okay. We know we're going to Miami. Yes? And we know how we're planning to get there. Say we're taking the mountain route. Yes? We also know that we need gas and money and clothes and snacks and all the great things that we talked about. What's the next question we want to ask ourselves? And by the way, this is an order. Sometimes, some situation, you might need to change the order. Not that often, but sometimes you have to be at liberty to do that. Yes or yes? All right, good. So don't get hung up on, it has to be that order. I didn't ask this. Sometimes situation comes out of that. The next question you want to ask yourself is you want to find out, a good leader will what? They'll foresee. What are they going to do? Foresee obstacles, and they're going to build possible solutions right into their plan. That's a huge distinction. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of something called Murphy's Law. What is it? It's quite fatalistic. What does it say? If anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that statement, but I do want to heed the warning. So we created a leadership law that states this: if anything can go wrong, I want to be ready. Say it with me. If anything can go wrong, I want to be ready. Good or good? Is this true or not true? That the road to anywhere worthwhile is seldom a walk in the park. There are always things that don't go as planned. Always challenges that come up. Yes or yes? Pretty well anytime you're doing something major. And in the same way, our road from Seattle to Miami might have some problems too. What are some of the possible obstacles or problems that could come up on our trip? Yeah, a flat tire. Yeah, get hit by another car. Overheats. Very good. What else? Snowstorm. Very good. We said the mountains. All of a sudden there's a snowstorm. You brought your mother-in-law. Yeah, that's a good one. Very good. Yeah, okay. Right. There's cell phone runs out of tire. Yes, you get sick. You don't car sick. You don't feel well. No vacancy in the hotel where you were thinking of stopping. Yeah, gas prices are too. Or maybe you can't find macrobiotic organic food at Al's Burger Joint in Idaho. So the fourth question we want to ask ourselves. What's the word, please? Obstacles. Is what challenges or obstacles might come up. Very often the difference between a mission accomplished and a mission that fails is foreseeing what obstacles or problems might arise and get in the way, and being what? Prepared, proactive. Again, these what-if solutions, as best as possible, are built right into the original plan. Do you see the difference here? There's a difference between leaders and what we're going to call poor leaders or losers. Leaders or losers. Okay? But strong leaders will build the what-ifs into the plan, the original plan. Yes? Yes? And poor leaders, they'll just try to handle them as they go. Now, we're all going to have to do that anyways. Yes? Yes? But the good leader sees obstacles and builds it into the plan. Very often, it's called a backup plan. Do you have a backup plan? What if this doesn't work the way you thought it was going to work? What if that group doesn't do their job? What if that person doesn't do his job? What if the whole strategy sucks and it doesn't work at all the way you thought it was going to work? What do you do now? Can you devise the plan now that will encompass as many possible obstacles as you can muster without getting bogged down in the problems? Do you understand? Yes. That's what a good leader does. The good leader doesn't always tell everyone every single backup plan, certainly one, but doesn't have to go through every single obstacle with everyone all the time. But they have to have that ready. Yes or yes? Yes. And that can be the biggest difference between winning and losing in any situation in your life. Yes? Yes. That you have foreseen the obstacles.